In Port Harcourt, Nigeria, they say if your hairdresser is too fast, too perfect, and too cheap, you better ask questions. Because the hands styling your hair might not be human. What I am about to tell you is not a movie. It is not Nollywood. It happened on a street that you and I know very well. A street in Port Harcourt City, River State, Nigeria. On this street, there was a salon, a hair salon. The kind of salon where women entered looking ordinary and came out looking like angels. Their braids were perfect, their weaving was flawless, and the speed was impossible. A hairstyle that should take 5 hours was finished in 20 minutes. 20 minutes. And the customers, they kept coming back. Again and again and again. Like something was pulling them. Like they had no choice. But here's the question that nobody on that street was asking. If only one woman was braiding your hair, why did it feel like 8 hands were touching your head? Your name is Tales by Catspan. Sit down. Make yourself comfortable. But be careful, because in this story, even the chair might not let you go. Now, before I tell you what happened, let me take you to the beginning. Let me take you to the street, Dline, Port Harcourt. If you are from PH City, you already know this place. This street was famous for hair salons. I am not talking about 1 or 2. I am talking about salon after salon after salon, side by side, like soldiers standing at attention. Every morning, by 7 a.m., before the sun even finished waking up, these hairdressers were already outside, standing in front of their shops, waiting, watching, hunting for customers like lions watching zebras at a river. A woman would be walking down the street, just minding her own business, and 3 hairdressers would run to her at the same time. "Sister, come and do your hair!" "Auntie, I will give you discount." "Babe, I just learned a new style from Instagram." It was war. Beautiful, noisy, generator-powered war. And in the middle of this war, there were 2 soldiers who stood out above the rest. The first was a woman named Chioma. Chioma Okafor, 28 years old, born and raised in Owerri, but came to Port Harcourt to chase her dream. She had been braiding hair since she was 11 years old. Her mother taught her. Her grandmother taught her mother. Hairdressing was in her blood. Chioma was not flashy. She was not loud. She did not wear expensive wigs or drive a fancy car. But when that woman sat down and picked up her comb, her fingers became magic. Pure, honest, God-given talent. She called her salon Chioma's Fingers. Small shop, 1 room, a cracked mirror on the wall, a small radio that played Cool FM, and a Bible that she read every morning before her first customer. Her customers loved her, not because she was cheap, not because she was fast, but because when Chioma braided your hair, you could feel the love in every strand. She treated every head like it was her own mother's head. But love does not pay rent, and in Port Harcourt, rent waits for nobody. The second soldier on this street was a woman named Bella. Madam Bella Okonkwo, 31 years old, from Asaba, Delta State, but she had lived in PH for 10 years. This woman was fire. She was loud, she was flashy, she wore the most expensive lace wigs, her nails were always done, her shop was painted pink and gold like a palace. Her salon was called Bella's Touch, and I must confess, Bella was talented. She could braid, she could weave, She could fix attachment and sew in and crochet and everything in between. She was good. But good was not enough for Bella. She did not want to be good. She wanted to be the best. She wanted to be the only one. She wanted every single customer on Dline to walk past every other salon and enter her door. And that desire, that hunger, that greed, is what led her to the darkest decision of her life. But we will get there. First, let me introduce you to one more person. Eket Effiong, 18 years old, from Uyo, Akwa Ibom State. She was Bella's apprentice, a small, quiet girl with big eyes that saw everything. Eket had been with Bella for 2 years. She swept the floor, she washed the hair, she ran errands, and she kept her mouth shut. But Eket was not stupid. She was watching, she was listening, and very soon, she would see things that would make her wish she had never entered that salon. Now, the economy in Nigeria at this time was brutal. Dollar was flying, prices were climbing, and women who used to come to the salon every 2 weeks were now coming once a month, some not at all. One by one, salons on D-Line started closing. Madam Jennifer's shop closed. Auntie Nkechi, who used to do the best Ghana weaving on the street, packed up and went back to the village. Even the Togolese platers who charged cheap, they disappeared. But Chioma survived. Why? Because her customers were loyal. They loved her. They trusted her. Even when they had small money, they came to Chioma. And this is what was killing Bella inside. Bella would sit in her shop, her beautiful pink and gold shop, and watch. She would watch customer after customer walk past her door, walk past Bella's touch, and enter Chioma's fingers across the street. One Monday, not a single customer entered Bella's salon. Not one. The whole day, from morning to night. Bella sat in her own salon chair staring at the ceiling, listening to her generator burn diesel for nothing. That evening, she counted her money. She had 47,000 naira to her name. Her rent was 300,000, due in 2 weeks. That night, something broke inside Bella. Something that was holding her to the light snapped. She picked up her phone. She scrolled through her contacts until she found a name she had saved years ago but never called. A name her grandmother had given her and said, "Never call this number unless you are ready to pay with your soul." The contact name was simply Easy Nemo. Bella pressed call. It rang 3 times. A voice answered, old, calm, like a man who had been expecting her call for years. The voice said only one thing. "I have been waiting for you, my daughter. Come." The next morning, Bella told Ikaat to lock the salon for 1 week. She said she was traveling to visit a sick relative in the village. Ikaat believed her. Why would she not? But Bella was not going to any village. She was going to a place that does not exist on any map. She took a bus from Port Harcourt to a small town in the creeks of Rivers State. From there, she entered a wooden boat. The boatman did not speak. He had one eye, and he paddled for 3 hours through mangrove creeks so thick that the sunlight could not penetrate. The deeper they went, the quieter the world became. No birds, no insects. Even the water stopped making sound. It was like the earth itself was afraid of where they were going. Finally, the boat stopped. Bella looked up, and there it was. The shrine of EZNMO, the king of spirits. It was built between two massive Iroko trees that were so old, they looked like they had been standing since before Nigeria was even a country. Red cloth was tied around the trunks. Animal skulls hung from the branches like Christmas ornaments, and the smell was sweet and terrible at the same time, like flowers growing from a grave. Bella wanted to run. Every part of her body was screaming, "Go back," but her legs carried her forward, as if the ground itself was pulling her in. She entered the shrine. Inside, it was dark. The only light came from a small fire burning in the center of the room. And behind that fire, sitting cross-legged on a mat made of animal skin, was a man. Eze Nemo. He was old. Not old like your grandfather, old like the trees outside. His skin was dark and cracked like dry earth. White chalk marks covered his face in patterns that seemed to move when you were not looking directly at them. Around his neck hung cowrie shells so old they had turned brown. And his eyes? His eyes were the color of river water. Not brown, not black, but green. A deep, unnatural green. He did not greet Bella. He did not ask her name. He did not ask why she came. He already knew. He opened his mouth, and this is what he said. You want to be the greatest. You want every woman to bow at your salon. You want hands that never tire. You want speed that no human being can match. I can give you all of this. Bella's heart was pounding. She whispered, Yes, I want it all. Eze Nemo smiled, and when he smiled, his teeth were filed to points. He reached behind him and pulled out a wooden tray. On that tray were 4 objects. The first was a mirror, an antique mirror with a wooden frame carved with faces, tiny faces, faces that looked like they were screaming. Eze Nemo said, Hang this mirror in your salon. Any customer who looks into it will never want to leave. They will come back again and again. They will spend their last naira just to sit in your shop. The mirror will own them. The second was a small clay pot filled with black oil. It smelled like the river at midnight. Eze Nemo said, Mix this oil into your hair cream. Any head you apply it to, their glory, their beauty, their destiny will slowly transfer to you. You will grow richer. They will grow emptier. And they will not even know why. The third was a carved wooden comb, but it was not an ordinary comb. Eze Nemo held it up and whispered words that Bella could not understand. Suddenly, the comb began to float, and around it, 4 translucent hands appeared, dark, shadow-like, with long fingers that moved like spiders. Eze Nemo said, These are your new workers, 4 spirits. They will braid alongside you. They will weave alongside you. What takes 6 hours, they will finish in minutes. Your customers will feel their touch, but they will see only you. These spirits never sleep. They never tire. They never make mistakes. They are perfect. The fourth was a small pouch of red dust. Eze Nemo said, Sprinkle this under the cushions of your waiting chairs. Any person who sits down will not be able to stand up until you have finished with them. They will feel comfortable. They will feel peaceful. But they will be trapped. This way, you will never lose a customer to impatience. Bella looked at these 4 objects, and her eyes were shining with greed. She said, I will take everything. What is the price? Eze Nemo's green eyes locked onto hers. He said, "The price is 4 rules. Break even 1, and the spirits will collect you." Rule number 1. You must never wash your own natural hair again. From this day, water must never touch your scalp. The spirits live in your dryness. If water touches your head, they will drown, and they will pull you down with them. Rule number 2. Every night at exactly midnight, you must sweep every strand of customer hair from the floor and burn it. The hair is the spirit's food. If you miss even one night, they will go hungry, and hungry spirits do not ask politely. Rule number 3. Once every month, you must bring the ashes of the burned hair to this shrine. You must come alone. You must come at night, and you must never look back while leaving. Rule number 4. You must never style the hair of a truly righteous woman, a woman who walks with God, a woman whose prayers reach heaven. If such a woman sits in your chair, the spirits will be burned by her anointing, and the mirror will shatter, and everything you have built will crumble in 1 second. Bella swallowed hard. Then she nodded. "I accept." Eze Nemo laughed, a laugh that sounded like it came from underground. "Then go, my daughter. Go and build your empire. But remember, empires built on blood always fall in blood." 1 week later, Bella returned to Dline. A cat was the first to notice the difference. Bella looked different. Not physically. Her body was the same.